Hello team, today's challenge is array insertion, where we're given an array, a value, and an index. And we are expected to not only put that value at that index, so that would be right between the 4 and the 8, but not delete anything else. So it's kind of a rolling edit where 8 and 10 get shoved to indexes 3 and 4 respectively, okay? Leaving us with the complete picture. We can do it with strings, we can do it with an empty array, we can even do it with the Fibonacci sequence. So lots of fun stuff in here, and we are going to take it on, okay? The quick way to do this is getting rid of this line because I never like that. But right here, we can go to spliced, okay? And to spliced works exactly like splice, except that it returns a brand new array. So it updates the array and returns it brand new without affecting our original array. So I guess it doesn't update the array. It creates a new array and then edits it and kicks it out, okay? Words are failing me, but hopefully that makes sense. All the same arguments are in here. So the first one is our starting index, which is index, right? Index. The next one is a count of how many things to remove. So just like splice, this isn't an index, it's a count of how many elements to move. In this case, we aren't removing any, so we just set it to 0. And then the last one is, what are we inserting, right? And this can be as many values as we want, but there's only one, so it's value, and that gets the job done, okay? Now, toSpliced is fairly new. I think it's new as of 2023. So hopefully in all browsers at this point. It is in all new browsers, but if you have to support older browsers, right, then we just need to do it a little bit manually, okay? Could we use Splice for this? Absolutely, right? We could. We can't return array.splice, okay? If we try to do this, what we're going to find, and we can actually just grab all this, drop it down here. What we'll find is that we get a bunch of empty arrays. And the reason for that is because splice returns the deleted values. So this on its own is very different than the return for this. The toSpliced returns a new updated array, whereas array.splice on its own returns the deleted values, which is always going to be an empty array for us. That doesn't help, okay? But what we can do is we can steal this away, and right up here, we could go const new array equals that array. So we are just going to spread it in, okay? And the reason for this is because we do not want to alter the array. Remember that arrays are passed by reference. So any changes to this array inside of here affect anything outside of here. That's a side effect. That's bad news, okay? So we create a new one. And then right below it, we return, or sorry, we don't return, but we edit it, okay? So we splice that in, all these values are the same, and then we return new array, okay? And that works. Again, the problem that I have with this is that it feels very wordy and a little bit confusing, where we're creating the new array, then we are changing the array, then we're returning the array. Feels like a few extra steps. Now, the reality is that it's not. It's only 3 lines of code. So you might have to do this, okay? But there are other options where we could, as an example, we could go return, okay? An empty array, concat, and inside of here we get array.slice this time, okay? Slicing from 0 to index, because slice is index based. So the first index, the last index, right? And then from there we have our value, and then array.slice from index, just like this. We don't add a final index, which means that we just go to the end, and this will work as well, okay? If you wanted to, you could take this line, you could replace the empty array with that. I find, again, kind of like this one, it starts to feel a little bit messy. This feels like cleaner syntax to me. But if I'm being honest, I would probably take all of this right here, comment this out, go down, return an empty array, passing all this in, and spreading the two array values, right? Which means that now we're doing the same thing as the concat. So they both came out around the same time in 2015. I think concat came out in the summer and array spreading came out in the fall, right? Very minor difference, still 2015, but it's all in there, right? And it all works brilliantly. So there are 4 examples, I guess, 4 examples of how we might do this. I really like how simple this looks, 2 spliced. But if I had to go old school, I'd probably use this one here because it reads very nicely. And if you know the spread syntax, then you know, okay, I'm getting a part of the array, and I'm sandwiching the value in between those 2 pieces, right? Very clean that way. Which one did you like? Did you find a different solution? Do you hate all these solutions and you just want to tell me how awful that is, right? Hit me up in the comments, let me know. Otherwise, for today, this has been Array Insertion, and I will see you tomorrow.